What is good, ninjas? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE news video. Today we've got some great information for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So Super Bomberman R is on sale at Best Buy. You can pick up the game from Konami for $39.99 at Best Buy online with in-store pickup or shipped to your house. If you have the Best Buy Gamers Club, it's even cheaper. I think it'll be about $31. So definitely a good pickup if you're looking for some quick, fast, fun multiplayer for your Nintendo Switch console. Has some online play. Few issues here and there, but Konami has said that they will patch things in. They've already released one major patch which improved things maybe just a little bit, but they will continue working on the game. In addition to that, there will be some free DLC coming at some point as well. So Konami will continue working on the game. As far as offline multiplayer though, it's actually really good, and the single player is super hard and weird, but it's still kind of fun. But anyway, if you're interested in Super Bomberman R and you want to get a nice deal on it, check out Best Buy online, and you can pick it up for $39.99 and even cheaper with the Best Buy Gamers Club card. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. We have the Media Create sales charts from March 27, 2017 through April 2nd, 2017. And the Media Create sales are the top sales in Japan only, and it's only physical sales, not digital sales. Now, I'm not going to go over the full list. I'm really just going to be talking about some of the Nintendo titles and titles that I'm interested in, but I will have that full list posted. In addition to that, you will see it in the description below. I also want to add, as far as hardware goes, Nintendo Switch was #1, but of course, once again, there were some supply constraints with the Nintendo Switch in Japan. So let's go ahead and get into the software sales first. So at #1, we did have Monster Hunter XX, Capcom, Cross, whatever you want to call it. Capcom, once again, selling a lot, 127,721 units of Monster Hunter. Man, that's so many copies. So far, they've sold already almost 1.3 million copies of Monster Hunter. Muso Stars from Koei Tecmo, 40,000, not bad starting out. At #4, we do have Mario Sports Superstars from Nintendo. That's new with 32,416 units. Definitely not bad. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild definitely still holding its ground on the Nintendo Switch with another 29,307 units for a grand total of 331,387 units. Moving down just a little bit at #7, 1-2 Switch. Once again, pretty good. 16,517 units for a grand total of 153,901 units. Moving down just a little bit, we do have Nier Automata, which is cool. Square Enix, they just announced recently that the game has shipped and with digital sales crossed 1 million units, or at 1 million units worldwide. So that's actually really good for Platinum Games and Square Enix. They sold another 9,945 copies for a grand total of 288,101 copies. Pokemon Sun and Moon at 12th. Man, that game is evergreen. I'm telling you, still selling. That came out last year around November or so. Another 8,853 units for a grand total of 3,229,854 units. Really good there. That was followed by Horizon Zero Dawn on the PlayStation 4 and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. And moving down, we're just going to go over one more title here. We do have Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix from Square Enix. Another 6,360 units for a grand total of 94,507 units. Now moving on to the hardware sales, once again we have some supply constraints after the big restock, or not big restock, but with the restock of the previous week with Splatoon 2 Global Test Fire. Things kind of slowed down just a little bit, but Nintendo Switch was still #1 console sold in Japan with 45,509 units sold for the week. Nintendo 3DS was next. It had over 3,000 units when you combine the 3DS LL, the 2DS, the new 3DS. Combine everything, it was over 3,000 units. Then after that, you have the PlayStation 4. You also have the PS Vita after that at #4 with 7,780 units. Seems like that's slowing down quite a bit. We also have the PS4 Pro, another 5,000 units. So Sony with over 30,000 units as far as total PS4 hardware sales. PlayStation 3 at near 2,000 units, 1,724, and then the Wii U at the bottom, that is discontinued, 449 units, and the Xbox One with 187 units. So overall, pretty good for Japan. Obviously, a pretty typical week when it comes to things, nothing necessarily crazy. There were a lot of new games as far as new release games in the top 10. I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games out there, so that's not bad at all. Definitely like to see new games coming out. But yeah, check out the list in the description below if you want to see the full thing, want to get a little bit more in-depth analysis on those numbers there. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. The Xbox One Project Scorpio reveal is set for April 6th. So Microsoft will unveil the Xbox One Project Scorpio this Thursday, April 6th at 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. ET, 2 p.m. UK. Eurogamer's Digital Foundry will have the exclusive on the reveal, as reported in their tweet. I think Tom Phillips or someone like that. Project Scorpio was first announced back at E3 2016. It is the newest iteration of the Xbox One and the most powerful console ever built, according to Microsoft, promising true 4K gaming and high-fidelity virtual reality. It will launch this holiday. So I think Microsoft has been kind of quiet as far as new game reveals. People have been teasing them. People have been poking fun and making fun of them because they haven't been revealing games. You have Nintendo with the Switch. You have The Legend of Zelda, you have Fast RMX, you have Snipper Clips, whatever the case is. You have all these games, and then you also have the PlayStation 4, which had Neo, Nier Automata, Persona 5, and so many great games, and been doing so well. And so far, right now, at this point, PS4 and Nintendo Switch are definitely outselling the Xbox One. But at this point, we do have Project Scorpio coming up, so this could be where Microsoft is going to finally reveal some games. And I would hope that they don't just reveal this console and say, okay, well, it can push this many flops and it can do this, this, and this, and say, oh yeah, we have no games to show you. I would really hope that Microsoft is smart enough to make sure that they have some games. And if this was just me, this is just me being selfish, you know, Japanese RPG loving me, but I really want Microsoft to kind of focus in, like, if they had like a Lost Odyssey 2, if this console debuted like with Lost Odyssey 2 or a Blue Dragon 2 or some type of RPG or something other than like a shooter or a racer, because that's kind of what I'm seeing Microsoft when it comes to their first party development so far this generation has been shooter, racer, kind of weird, quirky game, Sunset Overdrive, but that was like the only one. I didn't even really like that much. So I really would hope Microsoft would be smart enough to make sure that they release this with something that's a little bit more appeal than what the typical Xbox crowd is going to play, at least the Xbox One crowd. The Xbox 360 had such a variety of games from first party Microsoft too. We're talking, like I said, Blue Dragon, we had Lost Odyssey, timed exclusives such as Tales of Vesperia, in addition to Star Ocean 4. So I would really hope that Microsoft would just like come out with something that's going to have a little bit more appeal, not just for what the typical crowd likes, but kind of like what the Xbox 360 did. So let's just hope. I really want to see them do something cool. Heck, maybe if they work with BioWare, Jade Empire, or they work with a different company, I think that would be so cool if they did something like that. Please do not just reveal this with the stuff that you've already seen, like, okay, well, here's Crackdown, you know, or here's something like that. Please let there be something new, something that might appeal to me more, because like I've said many times before, I was a big Xbox 360 fan, and the Xbox One is just not doing it for me. It's really just not doing it for me, and it's pretty much turned into a media box. Like, it's really good for streaming, it's really good for watching Twitch, it's really good for doing all that. I watch all my Smash Bros. Tournaments on my Xbox One. So Microsoft, let's hope that they unveil something with this. That's why they've been quiet when it comes to the games front. I'm going to look at all this stuff, I'm going to read the media, I'm going to be covering it, but I'm a little skeptical to see what they have, just because of Microsoft's pretty much their whole generation so far. This time they haven't really done anything that's been too impressive to me, but once again, we have to wait and see what they actually have to reveal. Alright, and lastly, there was actually a pretty interesting interview with a former Nintendo EAD developer on working with Shigeru Miyamoto when it came to Pikmin and when it came to other things. The following comes from a Gamma Sutra interview with former Nintendo EAD member, Motoi Okamoto, and he actually talked about the pressures of Pikmin and how Miyamoto actually thought that Pikmin would be the next Mario. So here is a little snippet of what he had to say on that. So on Miyamoto's goals and the struggles with Pikmin. When developing Pikmin, Miyamoto said, "The next Mario is Pikmin." When he was developing Pikmin, Miyamoto was facing two problems. Ones that arose with the success of certain titles on the Sony PlayStation. First, should his studio make games that felt like movies, or included pre-rendered movie scenes? At the time, his answer was basically no, but in 2014 he created the Pikmin animated shorts. Second, how to deal with the phenomenon of interactive art. As he mentioned in many interviews, Miyamoto has long been interested in interactive play and creation tools, not just pure video games. When game consoles like the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 introduced 3D visuals, he considered that perhaps these consoles could also introduce fun interactive art that players could continue to touch and play without a clear goal or creative tools. I understand what Miyamoto meant when he said the next Mario was Pikmin. Pikmin was his launch title for GameCube and is now seen as one of his masterpieces. he'd create a great game with Mario and was trying to create the next big thing in games. So I want to talk about this. They skipped the whole Wii generation with Pikmin, and they had the new play controls that they released, but there wasn't really any new Pikmin game on the Wii, maybe just because Pikmin didn't do so great on the GameCube. It did okay, but it didn't do so great after 2 Pikmin games. And then they brought it back on the Wii U, which I don't think it was the right time to bring it back. If anything, they should have brought it back on the Wii, if anything, but I know that the game was basically delayed. They were thinking about Pikmin 3 for a long time, but they just didn't end up happening on the Wii. At least it was a Wii game, and then it ended up moving over to Wii U, so I definitely understand that. But Pikmin, even on the Wii U, I mean, it did okay, and I know Miyamoto was trying to create the next big thing. There's very different types of games, though, and I think Pikmin inherently is just a harder genre to be the next big thing, to be as big as a Mario. I understand, like, the metaphor as far as what he was trying to say as far as the launch title, this was going to be the thing, and it is looked at as, like, a masterpiece and a great game, but it's hard because that game is a very weird type of game, and Olimar and all those characters are very weird and small. I mean, Mario is a very different, more appealing game to a broader audience, whereas Pikmin is just not that type of game to where it's going to appeal to so many people, because you're just like a dude running around and you're throwing little things at other things, and like you're minuscule, like you're like this tiny little person, you know. So it's just not going to be what Mario is, which is a classic 2D side scroller. Mario saved the industry and everything, so you're just not going to get the same thing with Pikmin. Understand what he was trying to do, and now we have 2 more Pikmin games coming. We have a Pikmin game coming on the Nintendo 3DS, and just like that, we also have a Pikmin game coming on the Nintendo Switch probably. So it's just crazy how much more Pikmin we're getting. But I understand what Miyamoto is trying to do. I understand that people do love Pikmin, that it is a good game. I'm just not as big on the franchise as other Nintendo fans. But hey, let me know what you guys think about Pikmin and what Miyamoto thought in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Alright, ninjas, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more cards like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you ninjas for the next video. Peace.